me tonight? Good evening. I'm Jay Negrini, President of the Wilson School Board, and I call to order the Monday, October 19th, 2015 School Board meeting. Could we get a roll call, please?
Here.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Here.
Mr. Hopp?
Here.
Mrs. Mack?
Here.
Mr. Martin?
Here.
Mr. Metzger?
Here.
Mr.
Here.
Mrs. Reed?
Here.
Mr. Wolf?
Here.
9 present, 0 absent.
We have ROTC tonight to present the colors.
Present. Armed.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Armed. Right. Wait. Mark. Time. Mark.
Mr. Moravich, our announcement on public participation.
Two opportunities for the public to address the board. One is on agenda items, which is immediately before the agenda. The other is on non-agenda items, which is at the end of the meeting. It is an opportunity to, for 3 minutes pursuant to board policy and the Sunshine Law, to address issues that may come before the board now or in the future.
Is there any public participation on agenda items this evening? Wilson, good news. In the paper today, Connie Ahrens, elementary teacher at Whitfield, was recognized in the paper in our schools.
And she's right there.
Congratulations to her. And secondly, recently our high school Interact Club worked with State Representative Mark Rossi and the Berks County Preservation Committee to do some work on cleaning and beautifying the military monuments and plaques surrounding the areas of Charles Evans Cemetery in Reading. So fine job by those folks. At this point, we're looking for a motion to approve the minutes from the October 5th, 2015 meeting. Dr. Chmielewski, seconded by Mr. Ehrlich. Any questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Agenda item number 1, the Treasurer's Report. Dr. Chmielewski.
Mr. President, I submit the Treasurer's Report, Investment Report, General Fund Financial Reports from the prior month.
Is there a second to accept those reports? Mr. Ehrlich, any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Hopp?
Yes.
Mrs. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Metzger?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
9-4.
Agenda item number 2, payment of bills. Dr. Chmielewski.
Mr. President, I submit the following bills from the General Fund: $2,357,200.75, and from the Capital Reserve Fund, $295,000, $196.80.
Is there a second to pay those bills? Mrs. Reed, any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Hop?
Yes.
Mrs. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Metzger?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
9-4, 0 yes.
Agenda item number 3, financial reports. Dr. Chmielewski.
I'd like to submit the following financial reports, all dated September 2015. Wilson Cafeteria, Child Care, and the activity accounts from Wilson West, Southern, and the Senior High School.
Is there a second to accept those reports? Mrs. Mack, any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hop? Yes. Mrs. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Metzger?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
9-4, 0 yes.
Are there any communications this evening? Okay. Agenda item number 4, ratification approval of the following. 4.1, request permission to approve the revised 2015-16 field trips and participations as attached. Is there a motion to approve 4.1? Dr. Chmielewski, is there a second? Mr. Metzger, any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Agenda item number 5, Superintendent's report. Dr. Ruth.
Thank you, President Negrini. Very typical report for this time of year. We congratulate. We have a couple of our professional staff who are going to be on childbearing leave, and we wish both of them the best. And then we have some resignations, changes in status, and some extracurricular items that are on the report this evening. And that's my report.
Is there a motion to approve the superintendent's report? Mr. Martin, seconded by Mrs. Mack. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Metzger?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Hop?
Yes.
9-4, 0 yes.
Under consent items, 6.1, accept with gratitude the following donations. $150 in memory of Leonard Coate from Megan Kerber to the high school art department, and $51.15 from the Wells Fargo Matching Gifts Program to the Green Valley Elementary School. Is there a motion to approve 6.1? Dr. Chmielewski, is there a second? Mrs. Reed, any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Under Human Resources, 7.1, request approval of the 2015-16 extracurricular stipends per attachment. Excuse me. Is there a motion to approve 7.1? Mr. Ehrlich, seconded by Mr. Wolf. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Metzger?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Hop?
Yes.
Mrs. Mack?
Yes.
9-4, 0 yes.
All right, nothing under Pupil Services, nothing under Technology and Media. So under Operations, 10.1, requests approval to proceed with lighting upgrades at Berkshire Heights Center at the recommendation of the Facilities Committee to replace the lights in the cafeteria at a cost of $3,201, with all costs being paid by child care. Is there a motion to approve 10.1? Mr. Martin, seconded by Mrs. Mack. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Metzger?
Yes.
Mr. Negrini?
Yes.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Hop?
Yes.
Mrs. Mack?
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
9-4, 0 yes.
Under Finance, 11.1, request permission to create an I Am Able Club account with the Senior High Activities Fund. 11.2, request permission to create a Gay Straight Alliance Club account with the Senior High Activities Fund. 11.3, request approval of the budget transfers dated July 1st through October 14th, 2015. 11.4, request approval to designate $85,000 of the capital reserve funds each year for building principal use, with any remaining funds at the end of the year carrying forward to the next year. Allocation will be $5,000 per elementary, $15,000 per middle school, and $30,000 for the high school. 11.6 requests approval of travel protection insurance with the United States Fire Insurance Company at a premium of $300 to cover the 2 students who will be studying abroad in China from January 22nd, 2016 through March 26, 2016. And 11.6 requests approval to enter into an agreement with Provident Energy Consulting, LLC, as the district's energy consultant, specifically for electricity usage. The district will pay a consulting fee of .001 cent per kilowatt hours if it enters into a contract with an energy supplier recommended by PEC. Is there a motion to approve those 6 agenda items? Mr. Hopp, is there a second? Mrs. Mack, any questions or comments?
Per kilowatt hour.
Yes, it is. My mistake. Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Yes.
Mrs. Mack?
Yes. That'd be mine.
Yes.
Yes. Under Curriculum and Staff Development, 12.1 requests approval of the Memorandum of Agreement establishing a Communication Sciences and Disorders affiliation between the Pennsylvania State University and Wilson School District from August 1st, 2015 and ending on August 1st, 2016. Is there a motion to approve 12.1? Dr. Chmielewski, seconded by Mr. Ehrlich. Any questions or comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wolf? Yes. Dr. Chmielewski?
All right, no items under transportation, food and cafeteria, or childcare. Nothing under extracurricular. Under policies, these are the first reading of Policy 806 on child abuse and Policy 916 on school volunteers. This is a first reading, no need for a vote tonight. No items under miscellaneous. So moving on to committee reports. BCTC, Mr. Metzger.
The JOC at BCTC has not met since our last meeting. Our next meeting is scheduled for next Wednesday, the 28th, at the BCTC East Campus. That is all I have to report.
Thank you, Mr. Metzger. BCIU, Mrs. Reed.
Okay. BCIU launched the new Superintendent's Academy, which is really pretty nice. It matches the 5 new superintendents with 5 I won't say old superintendents, but seasoned superintendents. And so actually out of the 18 districts, there are 10 that are covered in that group one way or the other. So it makes a good thing for collaborative relationships and for getting the colleagues to support each other. So that's a very nice thing to start. They had the 7th annual Keeping Kids Safe Symposium, and this one was focusing on suicide prevention, and it drew more than 200 participants. And then the last thing has to do, of course, with the government and the budget. The BCIU has had to secure revenue anticipation notes. It started in August, September, October. It's going to go on for November, December, in order to keep their programs running. Now, eventually they will, when the government gets their budget, they will recoup the basic money, but they will not recoup any of the interest. So the BCIU is going to have to somehow find money for all that interest. BCIU is basically funded by the state and the federal government. Wilson does give money, other districts give money. It's a very minimal part of their budget. So they're basically like pass-through dollars. They have programs, they get the dollars, they pay for the programs. But now they're going to have quite a bit of interest that they're going to have to pay. So this is just one more situation. I think it hits them much harder than it does the districts, although I'm not downplaying the districts, it hits us too, but not to the extent that it hits the BCIU. The superintendent's group is going to Harrisburg on October 28th to meet with their representatives and senators and hopefully to talk with them. Hopefully it'll make a difference. Not sure it will, but I think it's a wonderful idea, and I think we've got to try. You can't not try. So That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Reed. Burke CIT, Mrs. Richards. Reed. Extracurricular, Mr. Wolf.
First, on the non-athletic side, our marching band participated and came in first in the tournament of bands at the Springford High School, and they will be participating and hosting the Sound Panorama this weekend on the 24th. On the athletic side, an update on our teams. Cross country continues to have an outstanding year. Both boys and girls still undefeated and will both be participating in the county championship run tomorrow. Field hockey also participating in county final or semifinal tonight. They should be playing as we speak. Football is at 6-1, still undefeated in the league. Boys soccer 16-3. They'll be in a semifinal tomorrow night. Girls soccer 9-8-1, also in a semifinal for the county tomorrow night. Girls volleyball is at 11-5. Water polo boys are at 18-0, and the girls are at 19-2. One last thing to note: a program that Mr. Kaufman brought to our committee that I thought was worthwhile mentioning. We'll be partnering with the Karen Foundation to participate in a program called Healthy Choices for Athletes, and it's not your typical don't do drugs type program. Certainly they're going to cover those things, but it's going to address some of the more common and relevant things that are happening now: abuse of painkillers, abuse of even things like energy drinks and things like that, the dangers that athletes face when they're using some of these things. So it's going to start with a presentation to our coaches and our parents, and then in a separate presentation they're bringing a speaker, a former NFL football player, to talk to our student athletes, and then there'll be breakout sessions with each individual sport as well. So it seems like a very worthwhile program that I wanted to mention. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf. Facilities Committee met on October the 6th. Some of the items that were discussed at the meeting were on the agenda this evening for vote. And our next meeting will be in December. Finance, Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes. Recently, within the last few days, a questionnaire was sent out to all the high school students and also the parents of high school students. And this has to do with the student food services. As you know, the Wilson School District receives funds in the National School Lunch and Breakfast Program, and the Finance Committee right now is considering whether it makes sense to continue in that or not continue. The food and meals that we have to serve under that are very restrictive and getting more restrictive, and we really would like the feedback of the parents and also of the students in whether it makes sense for us to exit that program. Right now, we were just exploring the possibility at the high school level only. We've not made any decisions. We're evaluating the financial impact, what we can do to offset those dollars, but we really need the feedback of the student and parents. I'd really encourage everybody to please send those back in so we can make a decision and get as much information from the community as possible. Mike.
I had an opportunity at the senior high today, and I was looking at the obvious items available to eat, and this one lady tried to pawn this thing off on me. He said, "I'm not going to eat that." And she said, "I won't eat that either." But the food was pretty bland. I mean, I was very disappointed with it. I mean, they try to make it good. I mean, they said, "Try the pudding." I said, "Oh, I'll try the pudding." But what really floored me the most was they can't have regular iced tea. It has to be diet. And, depending on, what fence you're on, but diet is worse than having the sugar, which is, I don't understand the logic. Anyway, that's it.
We talked about it here before. It's obviously would be a big step for the district to take, but I think our food service people really try to do as much as they can do with as little as they have. And so, Gabby, I'd really appreciate any support we can get from student government to get these questionnaires filled out and back. Will really help the Finance Committee and ultimately the entire board make a decision. There are districts that are opting out of this, and we need to make as informed decision as possible. And it's a big deal and a big decision for the district. So any help you can give on the student front would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Mr. Ehrlich. HR, Mr. Hopp?
No, it's not like a broken record, but on October 13th, the majority leader, Jay Corman, met with selective leaders and trying to come up with a plan to appease the governor, and they gave him a little bit of an olive branch, saying that while they would not support an increase in the personal income tax, they would look at other revenue generators. And of course, that was rejected, that comment. And the problem that I see is Wolf will now acknowledge that there's a pension crisis. He believes it's a funding crisis, which I mean, we don't have a golden goose here putting out golden eggs, and until he, realizes that there's an issue, I think it's going to be some time yet.
A pension crisis, we have a funding crisis.
Comments?
Thank you, Mr. Martin. PR and Education Foundation, Ms. Kramer.
We had some really nice coverage in the Reading Eagle, the Colonial China cultural showcase that was hosted Wilson and the BCIU at Southern on October 6th. The Wilson Community Health and Wellness Fair will be held tomorrow. It opens at 2 for faculty, staff, and students, and then it opens at 3:30 to the public. There's free screenings, free demos, fitness classes, so it promises to be a great community event. And I'm currently working on the next issue of the Wilson's Pride that's slated to be out in November. For the Ed Foundation, this past Friday, we hosted the Wilson Fall Festival that was moved around the homecoming weekend. And then currently the board, the foundation board, is working on some strategic planning within our committees and our board development. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kramer. Technology, Dr. Chmielewski.
To meet today, but that's rescheduled for the first Monday in November.
Ms. Audi.
There's a few things going on right now. Minithon just had a successful fundraiser at Chipotle this past week. We raised about $180, so that's really promising. There's also a Powder Puff football game coming up for Minithon as well. It's a flag football game that just the girls play. It's the seniors versus the lower classmen, so it's a lot of fun, and I'm actually playing in it, so it'll be interesting. Also, student government members volunteered at the Homecoming Fall Festival that they just had, and that was really cool. It was rescheduled due to the weather. Some high school students are volunteering at West's Fall Fest this Friday. I went last year, it was really fun, so that's supposed to be a good time and a good volunteer opportunity for our students. We also have another volunteer opportunity next Thursday at the food bank, and that's supposed to be like a consistent thing. We're going to try and do that at least once a month. And then just recently we sold 420 shirts for the Pink at football game, which is next Friday the 30th, and that totals $2,100 to go to the Berks County Breast Cancer Association. So that's really cool, and that's it.
Thank you very much. Mr. Moravich. Is there any public participation on non-agenda items this evening? Okay. This past Saturday, there was an article in the Reading Eagle that covered our current status of contract negotiations. It indicated in there that the union had rejected the board's best and final offer, but what the article failed to mention were the details upon which the board had offered our best and final offer, and specifically the financials of that. The 2-year contract offer was for a 3.5% raise in the first year of the contract, 3.4% raise in the second year of the contract. That amounts to $970,000 new dollars for each of the 2 years of the contract. But that only tells part of the story as far as the board's best and final offer. Teachers are compensated based upon a salary schedule, and that is an item that was created by a teachers union that pays out based upon where an individual teacher falls in terms of years of service, and based upon their credits on a degree of a bachelor's or master's degree. What we had come up with and presented to the union was money to be spread amongst that salary schedule to address some of the concerns that the negotiation team from the WEA had regarding certain pockets of the union. And when you look at our best and final offer and the proposed salary schedule that we had come up with, there are actually raises of 4.5% to 5% for a fair amount of teachers within the union to address those particular needs. Again, this is a schedule for the first time that the board has decided to come up with ways of spreading the money. Years pass, contracts passed, that has always been something that the union has decided on how that money is spread, and the board finalizes and gives authorization to that. So we have gotten to a point in terms of dealing with some inequities within the salary schedule, and the board has made efforts with our last offer to address some of those issues, including, as was referenced in an article previously, those on steps 2 through 7. As was indicated in that proposed salary schedule that went out with our best and final offer. The board recognizes that there have been some deficiencies in specific areas in terms of compensation for the teachers, and we have made tremendous efforts to try to address those. But we also have to recognize that sometimes all of those issues cannot be rectified in one single year, and that we are working towards, in this 2-year offer, working towards rectifying some of those issues that have occurred in past contracts that both sides have agreed to, that both sides have put their signatures on that contract. We ask that you look at that from the perspective of what is fair relative to what is happening throughout the rest of the county. The county average right now for negotiations and raises moving forward is 2.6%. And what the board has offered is 3.5 and 3.4. And I believe that is fair in terms of accurately portraying what was rejected by the board that needs to be covered and put out there for public consumption for the taxpayers and our community. We will continue to make efforts to address the needs and concerns of the union. We value what you do on a daily basis, and oftentimes it comes down to, what is fair, and two sides may view that differently. But efforts have been made. This was a negotiation process entered into in good faith by both sides, and once again, we hope to put this situation to closure sooner than later. That being said, is there any other business from the board this evening? Dr. Chmielewski.
I remember when we prepared our budget, we had basically worked on a 3% annualized increase. Obviously, that would change. What would the impact be to our taxpayers in terms of the millage at the current offer? Do we know that? I think it's very relevant.
Well, moving forward, we had projected out a 0.35 over the next 2 years, and that certainly would change things. Any other comments from the board this evening? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn this evening's meeting? Mrs. Mack? Is there a second to that? Mr. Hopp? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.